So let's have ourselves a little chat about Sifu, the upcoming Kung Fu game that a lot of people are interested in. I was lucky enough to get my hands on early access to the game, so I'm going to let you know exactly how it plays. Just quickly, before we jump into the video, if you are not currently subbed to the channel, make sure you do turn notifications on. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, all support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to support me further as a creator, then check out the links in the description, and let's get into it. So the very first thing I must do is thank the guys over at Keymailer. They accepted my request for a key for Sifu, and they have given me early access on the Epic Game Store. I've had a lot of people ask me about this game and say they are interested in it, so it makes me even happier that I got early access so I can bring you guys content for it, and I can let you know exactly how it plays. So, starting off in the game, you're going to have a little bit of an introduction. In my opinion, the camera is a little bit dodgy, just for the walking around part. As soon as you get into combat, the camera is amazing. Because it's not just your 3D camera around a room. There was also a section in the first proper level where it's more like a 2D side-scrolling camera as you're going through combat. And I thought it was really good to add variety to it. In terms of combat, it's quite repetitive at the start. You do need to earn XP as you're playing so that you can progress through a skill tree. And I would just like to point out that this game is 100% not going to be for everyone. But if you do enjoy the Kung Fu style, the graphic style and everything that you would have seen from trailers and stuff for this game, you will definitely enjoy it. There is a function or a feature that you don't typically see in games that is really, really interesting and irritating at the same time. And that is, as you are playing this game, you get older in the game. So basically, you start off, after the introduction, you start off at the age of 20. Every single time you get killed in combat, you will go up in age. Your age will increase. What happens when your age increases is the damage you take will increase and the health you have will lower. So it makes it even harder. The developers are fully aware there is an incredibly steep learning curve, and as well as finishing up the final touches of the game, they are going to be looking at the learning curve to see if there's anything they can do to make it that little bit easier, because it can be so tough in certain areas. This was my very first hands-on with the game, so I've still got to get used to the entire thing. So whilst some of you at some point will have perfected the combat, that is definitely not the case in this video. I absolutely love this game, and we'll go into a little bit more depth, but before we do, I want to show you guys this part of one of the levels, because it really adds to the immersion. It gets you involved, it gets you pumped, like you're ready to carry on with this game. From this one part that we're going to play right now. So yes, you end up fighting in a nightclub on the dance floor, and there is pretty good music playing in the background. Definitely gets you pumped and ready to go and smash the fuck out of other people's faces. But back into the death system, as you're 20 years old, you die, you then become 21. That will stay on your death counter, so your death counter will go up to 2. So it basically starts off, you die, your death counter goes to 1, then you die again, your death counter goes to 2. Each time your death counter increases, that's how many years it's going to put onto your age. And I'm pretty sure by the time I finished my first little play session of this game, my death counter was up to 7, so I went from the age of 69 up to 76. When you die at the age of 76, that's it, game over. I'm pretty sure the maximum age that you're allowed to live up to is 70, meaning once you pass 70, by any age, that's your last life. So I say the max is 70. The max is 70 that lets you retry. Anything over that, you're dead, you have to go back to like home base, you have to start all over again. The thing with this game is it's not about completing the levels. There is nothing completionist about it. This game is for a perfectionist. That's why I say it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. As you progress through the game, you start on level 1, the age of 20. I completed level 1 at the age of 49. There are certain enemies and certain encounters that will actually take a death off your counter. So for an example, my death counter's at 6. When I die, I'm going to go up 6 years in my age. If I take down a certain enemy, that will go down to 5. So you basically get the chance to prolong your life and stay in the game longer. But you start level 1 at the age of 20. I died quite a few times because if an enemy's got like an iron pipe in their hand, they smack you 3 times and you're gone, even at a very young age. So you have to perfect all the moves, the combos, the parrying, deflecting, dodging, everything. You really have to master the controls in this game. But I started level 2 at the age of 49, so I didn't have too many deaths like available because I was already getting pretty old. And there is actually a character appearance difference as you're getting older, as you're playing more of the game, which I think is really cool. And you also have the option to select whether you're a boy or a girl at the start of the game. So you have the ability to choose a gender, then you have your age feature. But the thing is with this game, and the reason I say it's for a perfectionist rather than a completionist, is because if you start level 1, age of 20, go through, age 49 on level 2, your age carries on going up. So if you die once throughout the whole of level 2, say you end up being 54 years old, you start level 3 at the age of 54. So what you need to do is you need to perfect it so that you don't die at all through the whole of level 1. That's what you need to try and do. You need to master the combat so you can progress through each and every level as young as possible. Because it will prolong your life, it will give you more room for error. So, by playing level 1, getting to the age of 49 for level 2, unacceptable. I need to go back to level 1, keep improving, learn the combat, starting from the very beginning of the level. You don't get any checkpoints in the levels whatsoever. You do, however, grab yourselves keys as you are playing through, and these keys will open up secret paths to get you to the bosses quicker as you go back into the levels. So I go back, I master it, I know the enemies, I know their attacks, I know how to combat every single thing they're going to throw at me, and I'm going to absolutely kick their asses. I go through to level 2 at the age of 20. That's fine. Don't need to go back to level 1 at all. Level 2, keep going through it from the beginning, learn the combat, complete that at the age of 20, having not died once. Level 3 will start you off at the age of 20. So basically, it's all about mastering absolutely everything, because you need to try and progress through each of these levels without dying to have the best chance of making it through the next level. Because if you go on to level 1 and you end up completing it by the time you're like 60 years old, I mean, you can start level 2 as much as you want to, but there's no point. Because even if you do make it through level 2, you've then got to do level 3 at the age of 60. You might as well go back to level 1, keep improving, get better at the game, and complete it at the youngest age possible, to then keep progressing through and give yourself the best chance of completing the entire game. I think that is a really, really cool feature. The game is so smooth, I 100% recommend picking this up. At the moment, from what I've played, I cannot see any problems with this game besides people might say that it's really, really tough because it does have an incredibly steep learning curve. And not only that, the setting of the game, the style, like the genre and everything will not be everyone's cup of tea. But if you do like anything from what you've seen, I have had hands-on experience and I can 100% recommend this game. It is so cool, the combat, the level layout. You're not always just on one floor, you're having to jump across gaps into buildings and stuff. The combat is fantastic. You have like environmental kills as well. So as you get an enemy's health bar low, you can press X if you're playing on PC, and you can do a couple of sick moves, and then you can like basically sweep them, get them down to their knees, and then smash their head into like a wooden pillar or something. I think this game is absolutely amazing. It's so much fun. There's going to be stress of replaying the levels, but that's all part of the learning curve. I honestly think if you've enjoyed anything you've seen about this game, I would 100% pick it up. And what we're going to do is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it.